show and tell is Intimina, which is a series of menstrual cups that are available at our sponsor. So the idea was that at every Sugar and Spice Monthly Talk, it is very overwhelming that there are so many products out there. So we'll just focus on one product. Okay, so I'm going to stop the recording for now, and then we'll come back. Okay, so do we want to do the show and tell first in case we overrun? Is it okay, everyone, that I do the show and tell first, and then we do the fun activity? And all of you are wondering what is the fun activity. Don't run away because it's supposed to be a fun activity.
Yeah, something that Martha came up with.
It's not I came out with. I'm not such a genius. I really am not. But I have done it, you know, in my classes. So I thought, hey, you know what? We are progressive people. We should do it because it may change your life. Okay, so let's talk about Intimina. It's a series of menstrual products, and they have different names. And they're all made of high-grade, medical-grade silicone. There are many types of menstrual cups, many different brands. And this is my favorite because it's the softest. If you compare with other brands that I've come across, they are not as soft. And the ones that I've come across, two different brands that I've come across, they actually use food-grade silicone. And food-grade silicone is not 100% safe. They are also not as soft as the ones that we have here. Okay, so they have the beginner trainer ones. So this is called Lily One. And it comes with a hook at the end. And they provide the world's first foldable menstrual cup, so you can fold them. And you can compare the size by putting them against each other. So this one is the smallest, the one with a hook at the end. And then there's the next one, which comes with a little stem. This one that I'm holding is dark pink. They have the light pink. So the light pink are actually smaller. So they have size A and size B. And then we have the bigger one, which is, it looks a little bit like a drinking cup with a stem at the end. And it actually has this ridge around it, this rim, to help prevent the menstrual blood from flowing out so easily. So how exactly do you put it on? So the most easy way, there are many ways, but the easiest way is what we call a V-fold. So at any part of the rim of the cup, you just press down and you fold down and it creates a V shape. So what happens with this V shape? Then you insert it at the entrance to the vagina. And at the end of the vaginal canal, it will pop like what just happened to the end of my hand. And it will sit at the end of your vaginal canal. It doesn't sit in your vagina, it sits at the end of the vaginal canal. And it can stay in your body for up to 12 hours. So the first question I get asked when I start to talk about, okay, this is how you put it on. Most people will start to ask, what about when it overflows, when it leaks? For myself, I can feel it, just like some people who have menstruation. They can feel when their menstruation is here. They can feel the trickling of the blood flow down their vaginal canal. Similarly, when I'm wearing the menstrual cup and I feel overflow, I can also feel this trickling. So what you can do if you are still learning how to get used to the menstrual cup is you can still wear your sanitary pad. And so some people, like, since I'm already wearing the pad, why would I want to also use this? You will go through less pads. This helps to also prevent the smell. To release the cup, you just press down a little bit, and then you can pull the cup out of your vaginal canal, and then you hold the blood, and then you can actually pour it into the toilet bowl. You can wash it in the toilet. And when it says overflow, yes, you can still use a sanitary pad. And after a few months of trying this, it took me a few months to really get used to it. Then it becomes really easy because you get to know your body cycle and your flow and how heavy it is and when to wear the pad or when not to use it, because you have also learned how to apply it properly so that it doesn't like move around and tilt over. So one way of making sure that it doesn't tilt or move around too much is once it's at the end of your vaginal canal, you can pull it down. So when you pull it down, it prevents any air from going into your vagina, so it creates more of a suction. And to wash your cup, you can just use water and soap. A lot of people at the start of the so a lot of people at the start of the session, wait, you're not a mute. You are the culprit. I don't know how to mute her. Okay, so at the start of this menstruation, you can actually boil the cup. You can boil it to really prevent any bacteria, any dust, and when you boil it, it kills all the bacteria for sure. And of course, don't insert it immediately into the vagina. You do have to wait for it to cool down. And this is the reason why some people may wish to have a few different cups. There was this lady who came to the shop to ask, so if it's because she's very, very particular about cleanliness, so she actually said that, okay, fine, it's full, she's emptied it and now it's dirty and she doesn't want to go out of the public toilet to the basin and wash her hands or wash the cup. So what can she do? So what she can do is she can have spare ones, and they are foldable. So she can have another one on standby, which is already clean, and then she can take that out. So they already come with the different casing. So yeah, so that's menstrual cups. They have gained a lot of popularity, especially in the last 2 years, because there are a lot of different brands that are coming up, and a lot of people are talking about it. And people are also talking about period poverty, people who can't really afford menstrual products like sanitary pads because it's expensive. So for our neighboring countries around us, menstrual cups is an affordable way because they don't have to keep buying products, and this can be used for up to 10-20 years. So yeah, Fazana is saying I've been using one for 20 years and took a few days to get used to it, but after that it was intuitive. So my colleague Elaine, she says she's very lazy. So what she does is she actually just put some lubricant so that it could just go into her vaginal canal very easily, very quickly, within a few seconds. So some of the customers will say things like, well, all you need to do is just relax and just insert it, and it should just glide, because the menstrual blood is also a form of lubrication. However, Elaine said, oh, because I'm lazy, so I just use the lubricant, and then that will really ensure that there's no pain. So that's also another way. So a lot of moms who come to the shop, they would say things like, oh, this is not suitable for my daughters because they're virgins, or they it's messy, or they wouldn't be able to manage it. I think it's a matter of understanding that this is actually access to our own bodies, the autonomy to our own bodies, and it's also by connecting with your genitals, touching yourself, touching your menstrual blood, which is not dirty. You start to reclaim your menstruation, and it becomes something that you can look forward to and actually have connection and relationship over, versus like, oh, this is like the monthly curse, or certainly negative messages around our period. So I feel that products like this, in whatever way, the different options, is just about what works for you. And of course, as you know, it's good for the environment. It's not dirty, it's clean, hygienic, convenient, and saves money. So end of the day, I'm not here to say buy menstrual cup. I'm not here to say that. I'm just here to share that this is just an option that people who are more educated will feel more comfortable with, because they hear about it, they talk about it, they see it, they touch it, they feel it, and they are more likely to use it. To be very honest with you, even though I'm a sex educator and I knew all the benefits of menstrual cup, it took me about a year to finally use it, because I realized I couldn't talk about them without not being a user. So it took me 1 year to even pluck up the courage to even try it, because I was really concerned about the pain. I was concerned about the inconvenience. So for Farzana, it took her a few days to get used to it. For me, it took me a few months to get used to it. It took me like 3 months to kind of get a hang of it. And the first time I was able to insert it successfully, it took me a while. I was so proud of myself, and I felt so good about myself. I felt like I've crossed another hurdle in my life. Like I've become more adult. Like what other people can do, I can do too, kind of thing. So yeah, it really changed my relationship with my period. Even though by the time I had my period for like more than 20 years, I still felt that it was a reclaiming of my body and my relationship with my menstruation. So it's really hard to put a label to it, but I really felt good about it. Felt good about myself. Yeah. Okay. So having said that, I've come to the end of show and tell. Didn't want to go on and on too long, so I'd like to thank Pink Lifestyle for the sponsorship, and you can go to the discount code that's Love Sugar Spice to get a 15% off their website. So 15% is quite a lot. It's really quite a big discount, because yeah, even other affiliates also get maximum 15%. Yes, so okay, I'm gonna stop the recording, and then now we'll do our fun activity for those of you who are still here. So thank you so much for coming for Sugar and Spice, and thank our presenters, and thank you, Wen, for being the host, for doing such a good job, for staying, and thank you to those who came. Okay, never mind. That's my
Thank you,
joke
everyone.
again. Yeah. So see you again next month. So the theme next month is going to be on Pride. So it's Pride Month. June is Pride Month. So we will have different presenters talking about on the GLBTQIA spectrum, talking about their relationship with their sexuality, their sexual orientation, reclaiming who they are. Thank you.